I'm doing good, AFC Championship week, ready to go.
How's the ankle?
It's doing good, I've had a few days of treatment, a few days of rehab. Excited to get on the practice field and kind of test it out and see where I'm at, but it's feeling good so far.
You expressed that you'd start treatment the night after the game. Can you just kind of bring us through what that night was and then these last few days, what you've been doing?
Yeah, I was able to do some extra testing just to make sure everything was good the night after the game, and then get a few things done to help the treatment kind of start off. And then the next few days has just kind of been, all day thing where you're just doing either treatment or rehab or watching film. And I had to take Brittany a few places with me so I can be around the kids a little bit. But it's a full day thing where you're trying to make sure that you're obviously prepared for the Bengals and a great football team, mentally and physically.
Patrick, what do you think has been the toughest injury that you've had to play through before, and how that might serve you for Sunday?
Probably my toe would probably be the toughest injury. I remember when I had the toe, I was like I had to curl my toes when I walked. So that was probably the toughest injury that I had to play through. But I've dealt with a lot of them, man, and you kind of have to mentally just get yourself to focus on what needs to be focused on, and that's the team that you're playing, and you prepare your body all week, and then when you get to Sunday, you focus on playing the football game, and that's what I'm going to try to do this week.
Is this all at all comparable to the injury you had against Jacksonville a few years ago?
Yeah, it's very similar, just a different ankle, especially when you're different ankles at the quarterback position, you're planting and throwing off different stuff. So the last one, it was the leg that I landed on, so I had to find ways to throw where I could land and keep it in the right spot. And this time I'll have to find ways to be able to push off and be able to still make the throws the right way. So definitely similar in a sense, but obviously different limitations and stuff that I'll have to work through.
This is the first time, I guess, in your Chiefs career that you've come into a playoff game as an underdog, especially as a home underdog, basically due to your injury, so to speak. Do you feel more pressure? Do you feel like it's because you're an underdog now, there's not a lot of pressure, because a lot of people are expecting Cincinnati to win this game now?
Yeah, every time I walk on that field, I don't think I'm an underdog, especially when I walk on Arrowhead's field. So I just go in with the same mindset of we're going to play our best football to win. We know we're playing a great football team that's beat us the last 3 times. And so we have to learn from our mistakes in the past and be better in order to win against a great football team.
Did you see the video? Does it require a different, just because of which leg it is, does it require an adjustment in footwork, and do you try and practice that adjustment now?
I think we'll see throughout the week. I haven't got to go out and practice yet and put myself in those positions. I've done limited stuff, kind of in a small kind of box of what I can do, but I'll push it a little bit today and then the next day and then the next day again and see what I can do that not re-aggravate the injury, obviously, but to push it to see what I'll be able to do on Sunday.
Any hesitation mentally, considering the last time we're in the field that you want to have coming up on Sunday?
There was a little bit earlier in the week. You want to push it, but like I said, you don't want to re-aggravate it or do something that you were in the position this last game and it was hurting. But that stuff that you do the rehab and then you do the treatment for is to prepare yourself to go out and practice and go out and play. And all you can do is keep pushing it and try to do whatever you can to go out there and win a football game.
Patrick,
You do at home, but are you off your feet when you're at the house, or you doing some stuff at home as well?
When I'm at the house, it's usually either studying or going to sleep. So it's just kind of prepare yourself, do whatever I can at the building, and then whenever I can't get off my feet and get some sleep, then I'll go get some sleep.
Looking at past legends that have played through major injuries, what's your awareness of some of them in the past, and what can you learn from that?
Yeah, a lot of greats have done it. I think it's just about being a competitor. If you want to be out there, and especially in these games. And so all you can do is just mentally prepare yourself and your body throughout the week. And then, like I said, you get the game day, you just have to focus on the game. And that's what I'll try to do is prepare my body the best I can and get to the game and just go out there and play and try to find a way to win.
Hey, is this progressed better than you expected?
Yeah, for sure. I felt better than I thought I was going to be after the game. Moving on it during the game definitely hurt. But after the game, I was able to rest it and kind of ice it up and do different stuff like that. I felt in a little bit better position, and obviously the next morning felt a little bit better, and I've continued to get better throughout the week. So we'll see how I feel today at practice, and I'll get a better feel for y'all, and I'll be able to, I think, answer a little bit better tomorrow.
Patrick,
This is a team you've faced a few times, like a division opponent. You guys know each other pretty well. You've been able to run on them. What has been the challenge trying to throw against that secondary?
Yeah, they're coached well, man. Their defensive coordinator, Coach Anarumo, has done a great job of changing up the game plan. I think that's been the best thing. Is very game plan specific. It's never the same. He gives you different looks out of the same look, but different coverages. And that's what I think a lot of great defensive coordinators do. Is they're able to coach their team up and do a lot of different stuff and variety of stuff, but still be sound in it. And I think that's what they do well. And then they have great players. I mean, at the end of the day, they have great players that are extremely coachable and go out there and do their job to the best of their ability. And so when you're at this point in the playoffs, you're playing against great teams, and it's about who can execute at a higher level.
In different ways, for lack of better terms, the Bengals have been a little vocal this week. What's been the messaging internally just to not get involved with that and react and to that type of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we just go out there and play football at the end of the day, and all that stuff you can talk throughout the week, but at the end of the day, it's a football game. You have to go out there and play it. And so we believe in just showing up on Sunday, playing our best football, and seeing what happens.
We're going to go four more. We'll go Vahe, Todd, Steve, and then Sam. Go ahead, Vahe.
Patrick, a little related to that, you're a lot more used to having winning streaks against other teams than having one going this way. How do you work with that in terms of the motivational point there? I know you look for motivation at different places.
Yeah, I mean, we've obviously lost this team 3 times in a row, and we've had great football games against them, but they've been able to beat us situationally at the end of games. And so how can we be better there? We know it's going to be a close football game. Every team you play in this position is going to be a close football game. But how can we be better situationally that we go out there and we're able to execute on third down in the red zone and at the end of games in order to win against a good football team?
This gets in your head in a negative way in any way, right? I mean, I assume it's motivation rather than.
Yeah, I don't know how it would be a negative way. I mean, I think you won't relax. You'll focus in even more on the details. So I mean, we'll be ready to go, and I'll be ready to go for sure.
Todd, they've done a nice job of putting pressure on a lot of teams. How much of what they do is scheme stuff, and how much of it is just physically they're able to do something to put pressure on quarterbacks?
Yeah, I think more than anything, they have no weakness across that whole defensive line and that linebacker position. I mean, they do a good job of pass rushing. They do a good job with their DBs of rushing from the outside, and they keep changing it up. I think that's the biggest thing is you can't relax back there. You have to make sure that you're really focused on the details, and same with the offensive line and the running backs and the protection plan. So, I mean, it's a little bit of both. They have great players all throughout that defense, and then they have a great coach and a defensive coordinator. So, for us, we have to focus on the details, prepare ourselves the best way possible, and at the end of the day, we have to go out there and play.
Patrick, you talked about, working yourself back into the groove as far as, being able to not be limited and moving around. What's your message to the offensive line, knowing that you may be limited and not be able to move?
Yeah, I think you saw in the second half of this last game, man, they stepped up and did a great job of protecting me, and where I was able to throw the ball from within the pocket. And I'm sure they'll be ready to go. But like I said, it's a great defensive line, so it'll be a great challenge for them. But I'm excited for those guys to go out there and accept the challenge.
Last one, Sam. Patrick, without asking you to give away what you're game planning for, does your game plan adjust based on the fact that you think they might perceive you have limitations?
Not necessarily. Like I was saying earlier, they're very game plan specific, and they switch every time it seems like we play them. And so it's one of those teams you have to be preparing for everything. We played them one time, they pressured a little bit. We played them one time, they dropped A. We played them this last game, they played it more kind of true to the coverages. So I'm expecting them to have a mixture of all that stuff, man. I mean, that's why they're in this position. And so you just prepare yourself to be ready for it and execute the play and then move on to the next one.
Thanks, Pat.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.